Again, you'll need to make sure you have 6 equal size pieces of paper. They also need to be square shape for this to work, and it's best if the paper is not too thick or too thin, so we can cut it and fold it relatively easily but it doesn't tear. So you could use different colours, pattern paper, whatever. I'm just going to use this yellow paper. If you've, like me, and you've got an A4 piece of paper that you need to make into a square, there's a simple trick to get a perfect square shape, which is to fold this down to the point where it meets the bottom. And then you just need to cut off this end, so your scissors will come in handy. Or if you wanted to, you could fold it and rip it off. If you have origami paper, that tends to come in a square shape, so you could just use 6 pieces of those, but the important thing is that they are the same size and they're all square. So there you go, there is your square, and I'll just do this for the 5 other pieces. Once you have your 6 pieces of square paper, the next step is to fold in half diagonally 2 times, making sure to line it up really well and fold along the crease. If you have any bits which are kind of hanging over like this, it's an idea to cut those off just to ensure that it all meets up well. So I'm just folding in half a second time on the diagonal. And it's a good idea to just note as well the edge that doesn't have an opening to it, as that's where the next step comes in. So once you have 6 pieces of paper that look like this, you're ready for the next step. Just also cut off any bits that are kind of hanging over like this. Once you have your 6 pieces of folded paper, the next step is to, from this line I pointed out before, the one that doesn't have any opening, is to draw or cut freehand, depending on how confident you feel, 3 straight lines that run parallel to this one here. So I'm just going to draw them on so you get an idea of sort of how far, and each one should be a bit less out than the one before it. So there's the second one and third line, and they're all about the same distance between each other, leaving a bit of a gap here as well. You could go a little bit further along, which I might correct when I'm cutting. So the next step then is to cut along these lines. It's really important you don't cut out the other side, so only go so far with it. Once you've cut those 3 for all 6, we'll move on to the next step. Now you've cut the 3 slits in each of your squares, the next step is to take it and just lay it out flat so you can see. Get a bit fiddly. Just so you can see there. And if you're wanting to be really prepared, I would suggest cutting just 4 pieces of sellotape, just a small amount of sellotape, about that much, so you're ready to fold these together. You don't have to kind of keep going between. So I'm just going to do that. Once you have your pieces of sellotape ready, you can start to roll them together. So start with the innermost and roll these 2 in so they form a kind of tube-like shape, and then just use a bit of sellotape that you've already cut to hold those bits together, so you'll get that sort of a shape. And then you're going to alternate each cut out, so just turn over and do the same again, fold in to create this tube-like shape. Use your bit of sellotape that you've already cut to hold those together like that. Again, swap over, you'll see it starting to become 3D and stand up on its own. Use your bit of sellotape again there, Pin those two together and then alternate onto the other side again. So this will be the same way as the very first one you rolled. The second one you rolled, sorry. And use the sellotape to secure that. And you'll get this kind of a shape. Once you've done that for all 6, we can head on to the final step. Once you have 6 or 8, you can work in even numbers, but 6 makes a lovely snowflake. Of these, grab 3 of them together at the point, like this. You can flatten it a bit if that helps to keep them. And then using your stapler, you just want to not do that. You want to just staple them together, like so. And do the same with your other 3 pieces. If you've used different colours, it's really nice to alternate. So you could have a red, a green, a red. You could have them all different colours. Use pattern paper. You could draw on these afterwards. Lots of options. And then you're also going to staple the other 3 like that. You will have 2 of these. And then it's on to the final step. To complete your snowflake, you just need to attach everything else together. So bring those 2 together that you've just made, those 2 lots of 3, so that it all is as one. And then to provide extra security, at the points where these crosses meet, you're also going to get your staple in there and just staple that so it doesn't fall about and they stay together a bit more securely. Just go around and do that to everyone. You can make these bigger or smaller as well. If you're particularly good at all the folding and the cutting, you could try making them as decorations for your tree. They work really nicely hung up as well from the ceiling. Lots of options of how to do these. And we'd love to see your finished ones, so please do share them. And then one final staple there to bring it all together, and I'll do a bit of a zoomed out shot so you can see exactly how it looks. But there you have it. That is your snowflake made out of 6 pieces of square paper, and all you needed was scissors, sellotape, paper and a staple. And there you have it, your finished snowflake 3D decoration.